Playing fearless and building the path to success. The story of the 2024 Peru State Volleyball team. Written and narrated by Alex Fernando. In just the third season under head coach Madison Kindle, Peru State Volleyball reached the postseason tournament for their conference, a feat not accomplished by a Bobcat team since 2017. Despite their first-round exit in a 3-1 loss against top-seeded Central Methodist University out of Missouri, the Bobcats laid more foundation for a program on the rise. In a sit-down with some of the leaders from this year's squad, the ups and downs of this season were highlighted. Nonetheless, they brought new light to a program that needed a spark. The Bobcats are part of the Heart of America Athletic Conference and the NAIA division. Being the only Nebraska team in the conference, they feel there's a lot to represent when surrounded by some of the most prolific volleyball programs in the nation, with Nebraska, Creighton, and even the professional league Omaha Supernovas just up the road. Senior setter Allie Schneider mentioned the empowered feelings she has as a member of this team in the NAIA setting.
I know I loved being at this college and being at the NAIA level, especially in our conference. We were the only Nebraska school in our conference. So making that statement and saying, hey, we are part of this volleyball state too, also is very I think it can be very inspiring.
That inspiration is something Schneider hopes to leave behind along with opposite hitter Kalyssa Fox and middle blocker Kennedy Miller, who has 1 year left in the program. Fox spoke about the impact she felt is being left by her and the other seniors.
I think as seniors, we were able to know that we did leave a mark on the program. We did leave a mark on the team where they can kind of a new baseline they can come off of next year in order to just be better.
Schneider followed up her teammate by talking about their hopes for the team next year.
I think this year we set a new standard of, hey, we can make the conference playoffs. We can go to the national tournament eventually. Having that as seniors and being like, hey, you guys can do this. Now we're handing that baton to them.
This new standard being set was no easy task. The team faced tremendous amount of adversity with multiple injuries throughout the season, including several starters with concussions. Allie Schneider missed a period of time herself, allowing a freshman setter, Sammy Chesley, to get some extra playing time. Fox was impressed by her leadership in such a new situation early in her career.
Yeah, and honestly, what's unbelievable to me about Sammy is the fact that she just always wants to learn. Mm-hmm. I've never seen such a drive from her, honestly, in a freshman. Even myself being a freshman, I felt like I did have that drive, so just seeing that out of someone else, it was insane. And, she did have to be a leader when you were her, Allie, at the beginning of the season. They ran that 5-1 with Eden and Sammy, and she had to step up. And I think she did. Honestly, I think she did a phenomenal job.
The ability for younger players like Chesley and all-conference honorable mention freshman right-side hitter Eden Moore to step up in place of injured players will carry over well to the next season, says Schneider.
I think it helps them when they are given that small opportunity to go on the court, especially during game. It helps them realize, oh yeah, this is how it feels. Having that opportunity is very eye-opening to understand the pace of the game. So I think when spring season comes around for them, they'll understand okay, this is what level we should be at.
Encouraging those young players to be confident in their moment stems from the unique chemistry of this team. Kennedy Miller spoke about this being one of the best teams she's been a part of at Peru.
I think with our team chemistry, I think that can honestly make or break a team with how far you go. And I think over the years, this has been one of the best groups that we've had to build that connection for sure. And obviously with how far we went, that showed that. And it just also showed that we had each other's backs and that everything, even if it didn't go our way, we would still wake up, go to practice, and we were all doing it together, which is what mattered.
Fox mentioned her favorite memory of the season had nothing to do with a match on the court, but the bonding on the team van and in the parking lot.
Runza, we went to Runza. This was one of the first away games. And they couldn't pre-order our food.
Oh my gosh.
So then we had to go there and they had to order. And so we were in front of Runza in the vans for like almost an hour, honestly.
At least,
probably.
yeah.
And so we were all just dancing and making TikToks in the like outside of the van, and then there was people in the van doing their own thing, and then people would go in and out. It was very funny. It was a very fun experience. I feel like.
Yeah.
And I think that day, especially to me, a lot of people came out of their shell that day.
The special chemistry embodied by this team allowed them to focus on Kindle's #1 message throughout the season: play fearless. The players mentioned it was on the whiteboard in the locker room, scouting charts, talked about at practices, and throughout their games in the later parts of the season. Schneider talked about what that message meant to the team and how they used it on the court.
That fearlessness of like, hey, I make a mistake and that's okay, and moving on of, okay, now this next point I'm going to get the kill, or hey, I'm going to have a perfect pass, or I'm going to have that perfect set to give my attacker the best ball. Having that fearlessness of that confidence in yourself, knowing that I'm on this court and I'm on this team for a reason. And I think having her instill that word into us helped that.
That fearlessness helped this team win key matches late in the season and helped fuel the competitive nature of the team. Kennedy Miller was selected as the Conference Defensive Player of the Week twice throughout the season and was third-team All-Conference selection at the end of the year. No matter the opponent, she was ready to compete.
I'm a rival with everyone. I'm gonna be honest. Every time I play, I'm just like, I just want you to lose.
The Bobcats finished with a 13-19 overall record and 8-10 in conference play. They earned the number 8 seed in the Heart of America Athletic Conference Tournament and have high hopes for a big run next season after building a foundation this year. With new recruits and transfers coming in from other programs, they'll have a special culture to adjust to. Allie Schneider played at a junior college before transferring to Peru State and spoke about how much this season meant to her.
I also went to JUCO, and we actually made it to the national tournament at my JUCO. But I will say, coming to Peru and working our butts off was far more rewarding to like make the conference playoffs, starting from the legit bottom here.
Schneider will be student teaching back home in Humphrey, Nebraska, and coaching club volleyball. She mentioned coming back to Peru often to watch as her younger sister Addison still plays for the Bobcats, and she loves the bonds made on this team. Kalyssa Fox will assist Peru State Volleyball in the spring, along with coaching a club team. Kennedy Miller will return for one final season in a Bobcat uniform. They all look forward to what this team will do next year as they continue to grow under the leadership of head coach Madison Kindle, and using the building blocks they laid to get this program on the path to success.